Hello and welcome, as it is now the 21st day of February 2018. The video on the screen, 21 minutes into such, is Loshak and the Bag, late line movement reports and best bets update. This was broadcasted on a live stream, which was broadcasted 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern on the Tuesday evening period. The link for this video will be in the more information box. The gentleman on the right with the Washington Redskins hat is Jimmy the Bag. He is a awesome contributor to this site. He came onto the scene about a half a year ago, a little longer maybe, and is a fantastic he's got a fantastic mindset for what I think risk-reward managers need. So I really like the direction in which he is going. And he's very smart as far as his handicapping is concerned as well. A dynamically tremendous NHL record. Also, we have Peter Loshak on the left-hand side wearing a New York Yankees hat. And I offered him on Friday, I did a video after making a very nice size bet on Kinesis and the NCAA. And it won me a few $100s in value on Bitcoin prices. And I want to offer him 0.01 Bitcoin, which I came out on a comment around this time. And this is when they replied to such, just before the 21-minute mark. And it only goes on for a short period of time. And I'm going to be going over onto his show. They do 2 shows a day, 12 o'clock Eastern time, as well as 6 p.m. But I'm going to attempt to go on the 12 o'clock show. And when I say attempt, I am going to set my brain to make sure that I am there. And it's pretty much 98, 99% likely. I'm going to try to be there from the start. And then see if he'll take my 0.01 or even a free bet. And then he'll either lose it or it'll be around 0.02, depending on, of course, the size of the wager in which he takes. It's an amazing channel. Big man on campus. You want to talk about a guy who knows the NCAA like no other. It's the right side of campus. Smart guy. Anyway, I will be there for tomorrow, and I made a mistake tonight. What can I say? That happens sometimes. And what I got to do when I'm deciding to play the big spreads is determine whether I should play the -1 or the -1.5. And I got to go -1 on them. I really do. My thinking throughout most of the season is Toronto's a very aggressive empty net team. They're very good at getting that empty net goal. And it was very difficult for them to do such because Florida was very stingy in pulling their goalie, and their offense was very poor in maintaining a possession in the last 2 minutes of the third period with a 1-0 deficit. I had Toronto as a 1.5 goal favorite. Had I taken the 1 goal, then it would have won. When you know a team has a superior overtime edge, it's probably better to take the -1 than it is the -1.5, as well as to take them on the money line. If one team has a superior disadvantage going into overtime, then you're going to want to take them as a 1.5 goal favorite, as well as taking them to win on the regulation line. But you don't want to take them on the money line. So just different things like that. Last season, with the Toronto Maple Leafs, they were losing well more times than not in the 4th period. I remember a game against the Winnipeg Jets where I seen Austin Matthews have an amazing scoring opportunity early in the overtime period. And the Leafs already blew, I think, a 3 or a 4 goal lead in this particular game. But then Patrick Laine scored, I think his third goal of the game, or he scored. And seconds after Austin Matthews missed. But I think a lot of their bad luck last year was a bit of variance. But they've turned around this year. They are fantastic in overtime. and a team you don't mind backing when it comes to play of a shootout. Their overtime record this year is about 70-75%. It's fantastic. So those are things that you want to look for. You look at a game, you determine, oh, I want to play this team. Well, how do you want to play them? And by understanding how the overtimes work, how often a team is more likely to win by 1 goal, because you see Boston wins 3-2. There was a lot of 1-goal victors tonight. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, this game's not final yet. But only one game, that's Tampa Bay, was decided by 1 goal tonight. Just crazy. Now, as far as the Wednesday card, I'll do some bigger research on these games in the morning, because I will be on that show tomorrow. I'm attempting to. So I'll have my information available. As I'll also try to give Mr. Peter Loshak a free bet or his 0.01 Bitcoin during that broadcast. But over my quick analysis, Chicago's a go-against team completely. Completely a go-against team. And minus 170 for Chicago, there's a good chance that I'm going to play Ottawa. I'm going to look more into handicapping that game. And Calgary-Vegas, I already know is going to be a little bit difficult, because Calgary is the type of team you play on the road all the time, and Vegas you always play at home. Okay. This goaltender here played pretty good in his last game. I have no idea where I'm going to go. There's no line on it, but if they go really, really high, like Vegas well over minus 200, then I may consider dabbling in a little bit on the Calgary Flames. There's an interesting NBA game for tomorrow as well that I'm going to be curious on. Well, first of all, the Orlando Magic, New York Knicks. The New York Knicks are a major go-against team. But the Philadelphia 76ers are heading into Chicago, and I think Philadelphia is a major upstart team right now. So much so that I think they're just as good as the other 3 major teams in the conference, which represent the Cleveland Cavaliers, Boston Celtics, and the Toronto Raptors. I think they are just as good as those teams are, especially given the dynamic of playoff schedule where you do not play back-to-back with the odd extended rest, even for spots where you don't sweep series. The first round can take so long when you get a couple days off many of occasions. So the schedule is not as condensed like it is in the regular year. And within such, I think that's going to be a huge beneficial factor for Philadelphia for the season. But that's for the playoffs. That's why I got futures bets for them to go to the NBA Finals. Not to win it, because here's a spoiler, this team, or Houston, is probably going to win. But if Golden State doesn't win, it's probably going to be Houston that takes it out. And it's going to be tough for the Eastern champions to even beat them, especially if it's Philadelphia. But Philadelphia, I think, can take out Cleveland, Toronto, Boston. They're playing much better on the road. I think that this team is going to get it done against Chicago. And if they don't put that big of a lineup, I'll probably decide to lay the points, because I think they'll probably settle in for a good 10-point win in this game. So if I can see a line around -7 or under, then I'll be very much considering a play on the Philadelphia 76ers. So that is the video. I finally made a non-2.5-minute warning video, relatively short. Thank you, and I'll be speaking with you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.